I think it's a classical case here of the government, as usual, failing to gauge what social responsibility is all about. And I think that's really why we're seeing more Labour MPs probably more likely to wear them than we are in Conservative, because there is, I think, a higher level of social responsibility. And I think you could tie that argument to so many things that we're seeing in society at the moment, the Afghan debacle, the issue over truck drivers, which frankly, yes, we've lost a lot of drivers to the continent, but there was also a huge problem in that industry going back years where many businesses, enticed by zero-hour contracts and failing to be willing to look after their staff, got rid of them all and then employed them through agencies, which then, of course, left a shortage of drivers because people left.
You're covering a lot of ground, and I respect that. But I do want to steer it.
These are the realities.
They may be, but let's imagine a theoretical Conservative MP. Well, they don't even have to be theoretical, but just to avoid causing unnecessary alarm, because we don't know what other people's health status or exemption status may be. Here is a Conservative MP sitting in the House of Commons. They're not just. It can't just be what you describe, a sort of failure of social responsibility. They must somehow believe that they know better with regard to masks than the majority of the scientists do, or they know, or that they must somehow not believe in the precautionary principle. They would argue, and possibly I'm being a bit glib, but they believe better sorry than safe, whereas we believe better safe than sorry. I don't get that. It's not just about caring for others, is it? I mean, these.
Well, I think it's perhaps about painting an argument that, look, things are returning to normal. And I think the vast majority of us with a brain cell would say, look, we need to err on the side of caution here. And whether or not someone's going to stand there in London and tell me that everything is returning to normal, I, for one, am going to do everything extra that I can do to try and ensure we don't end up in another lockdown and we don't end up with more
this is the bit, and it may be, probably the pandemic will be over and I still won't have solved this, but you do these things, the precautions that you take, the what you could call the lower level precautions. The better you observe the lower level precautions, the more likely you are to avoid the higher level precautions. So your mask wearer is a much more effective enemy of a lockdown than your anti-mask character, right? Yeah. Is that not just true, or are we both missing something blindingly obvious that cleverer people than you and me can see?
I don't know. I just coming back to my original point, I just think it's a failure to understand what social responsibility is all about in so many different things. And the discussions that we've been having about care homes and what we should pay, these are not arguments. We come into this world with nothing, and we generate our own income the best as we possibly can, and we make our contributions, and we do what we can to help each other out. And if it's going to cost me 10% of my estate, well, so be it. And if it's going to cost 10% of your estate, be it.
I know you're right. I shouldn't have steered you back from broadening it out, because you're essentially describing about a world view that just is, I'm all right, Jack.